You know, Johnny, you were right. I know I'm right, especially about a lot of things concerning this team. But what specifically are you referring to? You were right that a healthy scratch now and then does this roster some good. Oh, yeah, I knew I was going to be right about that. Did you see the stat shared tonight by Nick Morgan, writer for Penalty Box Radio and co-host of the Locked On Predators podcast? He tweeted out that Yakov Trenin has 4 goals this month after being scratched, that Philip Tomasino has 4 points in 4 games after being scratched. We all remembered that Luke Evangelista just this last Friday had 2 goals and 1 assist after being scratched in the game against St. Louis, and Juuso Parssinen is playing his best two-way game of all season up to this point. Man, Dante Fabro is gonna tear things up when he finally gets back in the Preds lineup. Everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators in nail-biting fashion defeat the Winnipeg Jets by a score of 3-2 Sunday night inside Bridgestone Arena. On the back of a 32-save performance by UC Saros, a 3-point night by their captain Roman Josi, the Preds extend their win streak to 5. They snap the Jets' 5-game win streak and return to NHL 500 for the first time since October 28th. Luke Schenn makes his long-awaited return to the Preds lineup since being injured against Tampa, wasn't it? After some in his fan base and some writers who cover the Preds were questioning the signing in the first place. And I was hoping that he would make an impact, and it seemed that he did in parts until later in the game, and we'll get to that in the post-game summary of this one, but I'll focus on the positive parts to start with. Andrew Burnett went with the interesting strategy to help Luke Schenn adjust back to the lineup with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. Luke Schenn being the 7th defenseman, as Dante Fabro and Liam Foudy were both scratched. These two teams were heating up coming into this one. The Preds, as you know, have won 4 in a row, and the Jets had won 5 in a row coming into this game. Just over 4 minutes in, the Jets getting heated up, wanting to get off on the right foot themselves, as they would get a 2-on-1 that Saros would get that beautiful sound of his right pad on. That would be the first of 14 shots that they got on Saros in that period. And hey, let's not shrug off the Preds. Even though the Jets got a lot of shots, the Preds came up with them and kept the pace up because they got 13 as well at period as a whole. The Preds do get their share of shots in early parts of the game and then later parts, but the Jets seemed, when they had their chances, to get them in bunches. They had one sequence over 2 to 3 minutes where they had 5 or 6 shots consistently, and Saros was able to keep it all out. Fast forward to just under 5 minutes left to go. The Jets get another series of consistent chances, but maybe this alternating Saros-Lankinen series that Burnett has been going for, I would be totally okay at this pace to see Lankinen play against Pittsburgh, in case I forget to mention that later. But this is doing Saros well, as he finally appears with this win streak that he's sharing with his backup goalie to be getting into a proper groove that we all expect from him. Preds find their second gear, just under 90 seconds left to go in regulation, and the Preds getting the shot total by this point, like I mentioned, to pretty much even. And just when you thought that this game might hit scoreless by the first intermission horn, just under 30 seconds left to go in the first period, Captain Roman Josi drags the puck with his stick and a defender into the Jets zone, and he gets a shot off that I think maybe he did on purpose because of how it ricocheted and caused the best rebound off of Lawrence Brossoit's toe, and he comes out to nay. I think a yak makes that sound. Yakov Trenin is there to pick up the juicy rebound and shovel it into the net past Brossoit. The Preds get that key goal before the first intermission horn. Preds lead this 1-0 after the first period. In the second period, no change to the Jets' pace for the first minute as they control the tempo in the Preds zone, but sometimes when you don't score, as we have seen the Preds suffer through this, It cost the Jets the other way as the Preds in transition go down the ice. Roman Josi into the Jets zone off of a pass by Keith Sherwood. All the way down. He's now at the right faceoff dot to Bourgeois' right, and he gets a shot off through a screen, and it's in the net. Oh my God, that puck had eyes, and the Preds lead this one just like that, 2-0. Preds doing their best to keep up with this battle with the Jets. Saros is playing out of his mind to this point. Really, as we all know who are watching this, if it wasn't for Saros, this game would have been out of reach before the Preds even got a sniff with getting these goals. Just over 6 minutes into the second period, the Preds would draw the first penalty of the game from the Jets on them. Now Matisov trips down Philip Tomasino, and the Preds get to work. And I mean literally get right to work. This entire sequence took literally, and I do mean literally, go check the box score, 12 seconds off of the face-off win. Captain Roman Josi gets the puck over to Philip Forsberg. He sees the passing lane. He doesn't hesitate. He gets it down low back door to Gustav Nyquist, who one time's at home, past Lawrence Brossoit. The Preds seem to be cruising at this point, at least, up 3-0 on the Jets. Saros doesn't give in either, as shortly after the Preds went up 3-0, bad line change for the Preds, which allows Mark Scheifele to get a partial breakaway in on Saros. But again, it's that beautiful pad sound of Saros that keeps the puck out and keeps this lead intact. Keith Sherwood took a roughing call on Neil Ponick about 2 minutes after the Preds had taken the 3-0 lead. And not only did the Preds prevent the Jets from scoring, the Jets didn't even register a single shot on goal during that power play. Saros seems to be calming things down. The Jets not getting as many chances late in that second period. The Preds would get one more power play. They're not able to extend the lead. Doesn't seem to be a problem just yet. Late in the second period, there seems to be some chippiness, perhaps started by the Jets, but as Willie Donick and Chris Mason on the Bally Sports feed said, you don't want to give the Jets any momentum to try and climb back into this game. So don't engage with them if they try to engage with you. Maybe they did, because the third period was quite eventful, but we'll get to that. Preds still leading. It would appear in the moment, I thought it was comfortable, up 3-0 after 2. Preds in the third period, at least in the first part, seem to be progressing. They seem to be keeping up with the Jets, not regressing, not letting the Jets take control with the play or shots like they were in the first period in batches. Preds come close to getting a bench minor for too many men on the ice about 5 minutes into the third period, but fortunately the extra man didn't touch the puck, so you're able to avoid getting that called on you. About 7 minutes into the third period, the Jets do somewhat pick up steam, get some chances, come close to getting the first goal of the game for them, but Saros is able to bar the door to his cage shut. This is followed up by play in the other zone, and Keith Sherwood gets hauled down and goes falling into Laurent Brossois' net, and no call? Come on, refs, you're not going to call that? Keith Sherwood could have been pounded upon by falling into the Jets goalie, and Kyle Raymond and Kevin Pollock probably would have said, oh, well, he deserved it. He shouldn't have run into the goalie. And this isn't the first time that Preds Nation has had their run-in with Kevin Pollock. Is it, Kevin? We don't forget 2017, Pollock. Seems like when you officiate Preds games at certain times, you like to be like this. It's like, I don't see anything. Play on. I don't see anything going on. Oh, you don't see anything going on? Kevin, huh? How about hashtag Sisson scored? We will never forget in this fan base. Back to the game as Philip Tomasino also gets manhandled by Dylan DeMello, and there's no call. If you're just going to let stuff go, why not just blow the game right away and let us go home before this thing gets really potentially chintzy and dangerous for any player's safety, guys? Like, you could basically read Phil Tomasino's lips on the feed to the officials is like, what am I supposed to do? If I do anything, you're going to call me for retaliation. Call something when he does it initially. But just over 9 minutes left to go in regulation. After a face-off win in the neutral zone, the Jets go racing into the Preds zone. Ryan McDonough makes his best attempt to slide to cut off a pass, but it gets through, and Josh Morrissey beats Saros to cut into the Preds lead. Now it's down to 3-1. Nope, it's not going to be that easy because Spencer Stastny is sitting in the box for tripping Nick Ehlers, and off of the face-off in the Preds zone, just like that, Perfetti beats Saros, and now the lead is down to 3-2 Preds as Preds Nation collectively clinches their butts. We reach 5 minutes left to go in regulation. Saros is under duress and finally gets his body on the puck, gets a whistle, and the Preds players who are on the ice are able to change and take a collective breath. At this point in the game, you have to take it minute by minute. Don't fall into a shell game and let the Jets bring the play to you. Get aggressive, don't cough up the puck, and get the 2 points and make sure the Jets get 0 zip zilch. Under 3 minutes left to go in regulation. The Preds get a good series of attacking the Jets zone, killing time off of the clock, getting the thing down to triple zeros. Jets come back the other way, and Saros probably makes the save of the game with 2.5 minutes left off of Nemtsov of the Jets. He blocked by the Preds as the Jets are attacking with about 1:45 left to go in regulation. Laurent Brossoit is now on the Jets bench for the extra attacker. The fans inside Bridgestone Arena are back in this one, fired up, trying to will this team to the 2 points and the regulation W with about 75 seconds left to go. Appleton of the Jets tries to bait Colton Sissons into a scrap. Colton doesn't bite at Appleton's invitation, knowing that a W is the most important thing to get for his teammates right now. Saros with another key save, just over a minute left to go in regulation. The Preds, try as they might, can't get the puck into the empty net, but what the Preds are able to do, thanks to Carrier, is force the Jets to ice the puck, killing more time because of the Jets having to defend a face-off win, putting Brossoit back in their own cage, in their own zone. The last sequence is forced because the Preds, out of desperation, ice the puck, giving the Jets one more chance of about 16 seconds left to go in regulation. Preds defending a face-off win in their own side of the ice. Preds finally force the puck out. The fans count down the final seconds, and the Preds have now won 5 in a row with this key 3-2 regulation where only one team gets the 2 points or any points at all win at home inside the friendly confines of Bridgestone Arena. Impressive. I have to give the boys that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Preds Nation, and feel free to comment if you also find yourself being a member of Two-Tone Blue, Titans Nation. But with the Titans winning this morning across the Cumberland inside Nissan Stadium, I think today was the first time since November 17th, 2022 that both the Preds and the Titans won a game on the exact same day. We all know what happened to the Titans after their win the last time they both won on the exact same day. And both games today happened at home. So hopefully we buck the streak and we don't have to go a long time before the Titans win another game. Oh, and as for Luke Schenn, he didn't play the last 9 minutes and change of the third period if you didn't notice. And in his post-game scrum, Coach Andrew Bennett didn't actually hint as to why that was. So be prepared that he might go right back onto the IR Monday morning or Monday afternoon. Which means that Dante Fabro better be allowed and he better be ready to be called upon to go back in the lineup on Tuesday. And I don't think he's actually been that much of a liability that would warrant him being a scratch this long. So hopefully he's ready to show that, yeah, I don't want to be back up in the press box again. Other than that news, the positives, this team continues to redeem itself. Roman Josi, in his post-game first star of the game interview with Kara Hammer, told this fan base that this team is indeed on a heater. Hence why, yeah, Listen to the captain. That's why I called it heater for the Preds fan reaction title tonight. It gets embarrassed at home against the Oilers like we're usually expecting them to, but then they go up to Edmonton and beat the Oilers on their home ice. Then this team, earlier in November, gets embarrassed when they blow a 2-0 lead in Calgary and allow 4 unanswered goals to lose that game. But right before Thanksgiving, you won a key character win against them. And hey, let's not gloss over how character building and maybe momentum shifting it was for this season to have that miracle comeback win against Colorado. You have to be lucky to be good and good to be lucky sometimes. And tonight, after getting dragged around the building, beat up and down earlier this month in Winnipeg against the Jets, you welcomed them into your building tonight. You showed them who's boss, whose home this was. You built a lead. It would have been nice if you had had the 3-0 shutout win, especially with how Saros showed up for you. But you bent. You did not break like you would in that stretch of having a 2-0 lead and blowing it and then losing the game. No, you got the W in the end, and that is character building. Redemption is the name of the game, Preds Nation. Heck, it's how this channel got its name 6 years ago after certain heartbreak. Speaking of that, 3 more games on this homestand before you go on a road trip back east. Starting with a certain Antarctic creature that comes to town Tuesday night. Finish this week strong, hopefully still at NHL 500, perhaps a tick or two above it, and we'll see what kind of momentum you can stir up for the stretch run to Christmas in December. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click a like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. You can find my social media by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about Redemption and tell them that your biggest foe, who is not a division or conference rival, is coming back to town Tuesday night. I want to hear Bridgestone get loud. I don't care that it's been 6 years. I'm still mad about it.